Hi students, today we are discussing another problem related to death of a partner. The speciality of this problem is that the new ratio among the remaining partners are different from their corresponding old ratio. In the last two problems we have discussed are in such a kind that the old ratio and new ratio among the continuing partners were same. Here the continuing ratio or the new ratio among the continuing partners are different from their corresponding old ratio. So here is an example. A, B and C were sharing profits in the ratio of 5:4:3. Their balance sheet as on 31st March 2015 is given. And on 1st October 2015, A died and B and C decided to share the future profits in the ratio of 7:5. See, B and C, the remaining partners or the continuing partners, decided to share their future profits in a different ratio. That means the old ratio among B and C were 4:3. Now they decided to change the ratio as 7:5. So in such a case, there will be slight difference in the treatment of share of profit up to the date of death. Okay, that is what the key adjustment in this problem that we will discuss later. Okay, so here the adjustments are given. Goodwill will be valued at 2.5 years purchase of the average profit of the previous 4 years. Previous 4 years profits are given. Then patents be valued at rupees 8,000, machinery valued at rupees 28,000 and building at rupees 25,000. Then profit for the year 2015-16 be taken as having the accrued in the same rate as that of the previous year. That means 2015-16 profit will be same like last year profit. Last year profit we have 18,000 rupees. Okay, that is there along with that 4 years purchase, 4 years profit. Then interest on capital to be provided at 10% per annum. Okay, then the next point says that half of the amount due to A, that is the deceased partner, is to be paid immediately to the executor and the balance should be transferred to his loan account. That means balance should be remained in the loan account. So here we have to prepare A's capital account and A's executor's account. Okay, on October 1st, 2015. So that is what we have to calculate. Let us see the solution. Here the revaluation account is prepared and the adjustments it is given here. Building shows an increase of 5,000 rupees. So we can write here by building 5,000. Then patents shows a decrease of rupees 3,000. So it can be debited to patents 3,000. Then machinery also is getting reduced by 2,000 rupees. So what is the difference? No difference is there in the account. Both sides are equal. So 5,000 each. That means there is no revaluation profit or loss. Now let us prepare capital account of the deceased partner. That means A's capital account. In that normally what we write, opening balance will be the first entry. So we can write the opening balance by balance brought down. By balance brought down we have 30,000 in the balance sheet that we have to write. Then next in balance sheet there is reserve that also can be transferred to the capital account. Okay. Now reserve is transferred and opening balance also transferred, and there was an advertisement suspense account in the asset side that we have to transfer to the debit side. That means A's share of deferred revenue expenditure. Okay, 5,000. That means 12,000 was there, 12,000 into 5 by 12, his share. Now we have to find out his share of goodwill. That we can calculate here. It can be calculated here. So in order to calculate goodwill, this goodwill will be shared among the continuing partners in their gaining ratio. So first let us calculate gaining ratio. Gaining ratio equation, we know that gaining ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. Here old ratio and new ratio are directly given here. The old ratio among A and B and new ratio also given. Old ratio 5:4:3. New ratio between B and C 7:5. So B is gaining. B is one of the remaining partners. So B is gaining is equal to, what is B's new share? 7 by 12 divided by 7 by 12 minus old share 4 by 12. So that we can write first. So we will get 3 by 12 as B's gaining share. Like that for C. 5 by 12 minus 3 by 12 is equal to 2 by 12. That means the gaining ratio of B and C is equal to 3:2. So in this ratio we have to share the goodwill. So for that we have to calculate the goodwill first. Let us calculate it. So here it is given that goodwill will be calculated based on the average profit of 4 years, then that will be multiplied into 2.5 number of years. So first we have to calculate average profit. Average profit we will get 72,000. That means 4 years profit will be added and that will be divided by 4. So average profit 72,000. Then we have to find out firm's goodwill first. That means average profit into number of years purchase. So that we will get total goodwill. So the total goodwill is equal to average profit into number of years purchase, that is 18,000 into 2.5. That means 45,000 rupees. So that is the firm's goodwill. Now what we have to calculate? Yes, out of that what is A's share of goodwill? A's share of goodwill is equal to 40,000 into his share. His share is 5 by 12. Okay, so 45,000 into 5 by 12, 18,750. Then this will be borne by continuing partners. Borne by continuing partners means continuing partners have to compensate to deceased partners executor. So we can write here what is B's contribution. B's share for A's goodwill will be 18,750 into his gaining share. His gaining share we know 3:2. So 3 by 5. 11,250. So like that for C. C's share of goodwill is equal to 18,750 into 2 by 5. That means 7,500. So we have got their goodwill, how they will share. It will be shared in 11,250 and 7,500. So let us write that by B's capital. You can write 11,250. So if you want, you can write in bracket goodwill for understanding purpose. Then C's capital also 7,500. That is written. Now what is the next to be given to A? Yes, his share of profit up to the date of his death. That we can calculate here. Share of profit up to the date of death. Calculation of A's share of profit. So A's share of profit we can calculate here. Profit up to the date of death is based on last year's profit. Last year's profit is 18,000. 18,000 into that is 18,000 is for the full year, and he dies here on October 1st. That means April 1st to October 1st. There are 6 months. So we have to calculate 6 months share of profit. 6 months profit out of 18,000. That means 18,000 into 6 by 12. Then we have to calculate his share. That means 5 by 12. Okay. So profit up to the date of A's death is equal to 18,000 into 6 by 12. That is half year. That means period up to the date of death. Then into his share. So we will get 3,750. This is what we have to write. Normally in up to last year, up to the last problem, we have written that in his capital account by profit and loss suspense account. By profit and loss suspense account. But there one problem was there, or one difference was there between those problems and this problem, is that the new ratio among the remaining partners were equal to their corresponding old share. Okay. In such a case, we will write that amount into, we will be transferring that amount into profit and loss suspense account. Because in future also, the continuing partners will be sharing the profit in the same ratio. But if there is any change in the ratio among the continuing partners, then we have to transfer this amount, or we have to divide this amount among the gaining partners in their gaining ratio. That is the difference here. That is the main point here. Okay. That means if the continuing partners new ratio is different from their old ratio, the profit up to the date of death of deceased partner should be shared among the continuing partners in their gaining ratio. That is an important note you have to mention somewhere. Okay, and should be followed like that. If the new ratio of remaining partners are different from their corresponding old ratio, the profit up to the date of death of a partner should be shared among them in their gaining ratio and debited to gaining partners capital account. Okay, so that is the case here. So instead of transferring that to suspense account, we have to transfer that to their capital account. So therefore, what is the share for A, or A share, how much will be borne by B? That we can calculate here. A's share of profit borne by B, that means share of profit to be debited to B's capital, is 3,750 into 3 by 5. That is 2,250. Like that, for C, how much will be borne by C? That is 3,750 into 2 by 5. So in such a way, we can write the journal entry. If it is like that, how we can calculate the journal entry? We will do it. We can write here journal entry. What to write? B's capital debtor B's capital debtor, how much? 2,250. Then C's capital debtor 1,500 to A's capital. A's capital 3,750. So this is the journal entry for treating the deceased partner's share of profit. Okay. So in that way you can treat in the coming problems also. If the difference, that means if the share of profit sharing ratio among the remaining partners is different from their old ratio. So let us write the journal entry here. In A's capital we will write by B's capital how much? 2,250, and by C's capital 1,500. Okay. Then next we have to see what it is. Interest on capital should be given to A till his date of death. That we have to write. Interest on capital, how much is there? Interest on capital 30,000 is the capital and 10% is the interest. So 30,000 into 10 by 100 into 6 by 12. So that will be 1,500. Okay. So let us total the account. All other adjustments are over. Now we can total the account. 56,500 can be transferred to the debit side. Okay. So the balance is 51,500 that can be transferred to his executor's account. Okay. So we are preparing his executor's account. A's executor's account. Executor's loan account is prepared, and there it was. In A's capital we have debited A's executor's account. So in A's executor's account we can credit as by A's capital amount 51,500. Okay, and half of the amount we have to pay to him. See, here one problem is that we have a cash in hand only 9,000, and half of this amount we have to pay to A's executor. That means 25,750 we have to pay to A's executor. So since we have no sufficient cash in hand and it is given in the question to pay them immediately, we have to borrow money from the bank. That means we have to take bank overdraft. So this can be debited here as to bank. Understood? Since we have no sufficient money in hand, that much money we have to borrow from bank. Okay, so we can write here to bank. You need not write to cash 9,000 and remaining as bank. Instead of writing that, you can directly write to bank and can completely shown as bank overdraft. Here to bank means there is bank overdraft. That will be shown in the new balance sheet. Anyway, in this question we are not preparing the balance sheet. Okay, so let us see the total 56,000, and that is transferred to the debit side. 56,500. Sorry, 56,500. And 25,750 half we have paid, and remaining half is there. That in the adjustment it is given that it should be transferred to the loan account. So here it is, since it is loan account, we can show here as to balance carry down. That means it is that much amount will be given later. Okay, so this is the question and the solution. You have to remember the speciality is that the continuing partners share of profit is different from their old ratio. Okay, in such a situation, instead of generating profit and loss suspense account, we have to transfer those amounts that deceased partners share of profit up to his date of death will be transferred to the remaining partners capital account. That means in their gaining share. That is the main adjustment here. I think all of you understood this. You can find similar problems in the reference book and solve it. Okay, thank you.